to regular participants. He has already taught us how to integrate pragmatics into our language classes. Previously, he taught us to apply ChatGPT into our writing sessions. And this session, he's going to familiarize us with TOEFL. You already know the rules. Please keep your microphones muted during the session. If you have any comments, you can share them in the chat box. And if you have any questions, you can save them for the Q&A part. Dear Dwiki, the floor is yours. Your mic is muted.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Miss Fatemi. Nice to meet you all. I think yeah, I just want to say happy Ramadan everyone for celebrating coming from Indonesia. Okay. Yeah, my name is Dwiki Ramankan, and I'm gonna be your speaker for the next hour. Okay, maybe I can share my presentation slide. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so um, recently the TOEFL iBT just overhauled. I'm not using the term updated because they just recently overhaul everything from the scratch. And there are so many things that we want to discover about what is going on with the TOEFL iBT 2026. Is it easier than IELTS or is it harder than IELTS? That's like many people ask me related to. So yeah, for the next hour, I'll give you brief information about going on TOEFL IBT. Not IPP, okay? IBT. Because sometimes people misunderstands about it. Okay, so there are four components, just like first one is gonna be reading, the second one is listening, the third one writing, and the fourth one is speaking. Now, somehow this test only lasts for an hour, only an hour. Surprising, like in the this test was conducted for 2 hours, 2 hours more than 2 hours. And right now, the reading just takes 30 minutes, listening just takes 30 minutes, writing 23 minutes, and speaking 8 minutes, only an hour. And then surprisingly, after you finish your test, your reading and listening will pop out immediately, immediately after you finish with your test. So it's pretty fast. I mean, like pretty fast. And then you will get your score in just 3 days for writing and speaking. Such a big step coming from the TOEFL IBT. And then they just they just gave us a huge discount on January, but I'm not sure like are or not. And they gave it like 50% for the discount. I'm not sponsored by TOEFL IBT. I'm just trying to say it what it is. Okay, so we have four components, and just for information, I will give you the lesson plans, 8 week TOEFL IBT lesson plans at the end of our discussion, and then I will give you like the overview for all of the overhauled components of TOEFL IBT 2026. Let's go. So we have reading section. In here we have three different words: read in daily past, read in daily life, and the number three, read an academic passage. That's in here. Maybe some of you are familiar with the test. If you have taken like Duolingo simulation test, fill the alphabets in here. Let's say we know from drawing, so you have to fill in the blanks. That's it. You have to fill in the blanks. So the best strategy is that you can use Duolingo. Just type it online on the Google, Duolingo simulation test. You can practice it for thousands of times before taking this one, and it is totally free. Okay, what is the best step? The best step is that you have to make a brief step basically, because like this one, we have to understand the first sentence. Like we know from drawings that have been preserved in caves for over 10,000 years, that early humans performed dances as a group activity. Now we can fill in the blanks like this one, yeah? We might like blah 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 blah. Now I want to give the audience 1 minute to type on the chat box what should we feel on this on this blank. Okay, I will type on the chat box, and then we need to make sure. Okay, what should we put? What kind of alphabets that we should put on this paragraph? Like this one. Okay, we might think blah 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 blah. Prehistoric blah 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 blah. Consecrated on blah 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 blah. Okay, so please type on the chat box about what should we do, about what should we fill in. 1 minute from now. Yes, my answer. Yes, absolutely. Mike, dad, people. Okay, what about consecrated on, blah, 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 on, blah, 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 survival. Points. How, blah, 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 it. Okay, so please type on the chat box, on the chat box in here, on our Google's meeting right now, about what should we feel it. Anyone? Okay, maybe I can help you a little bit, like this one. We might think that prehistoric people consecrated only, should put this here, only on basic survival. Yeah, only basic. However, is from the record that, and the last one, yeah, something like that. Okay, so I think like our teachers know what should be done for the complete the words. I think it's pretty easy. Especially for the teachers, they have a lot of vocabularies, a wide range of vocabulary. So I think it is not such a big deal for them. So you can teach like to your students like what should be done, and I think it's not really difficult. Okay, I think we should keep on into. Sorry. Okay, this one. Read in daily life. So I mean, like it's pretty convenient. I truly believe that people you just need to read like daily information, like announcement, and you just need to read an email, a PDF. I mean, like it's not really difficult for you to understand about this one, right? So you just need to read this one, and then okay, what is the best answer for this one? I think it's not really difficult for our English teachers. Just read it. Okay, I think this infers about maybe the business issued on the notice, maybe about internet provider, computer company. So it's not really difficult. Basically, it's like multiple choice. It's not really difficult for our students, also for our teachers. Basically, this wasn't a thing. This wasn't a thing back in the reading section of of our old TOEFL IBT 2025. But right now, here it is, and it's more convenient instead of the old one. The old one we have to read like if you have taken an IELTS test, it takes a long time to read the passage. You need to infer about this one, this one, this one. So I mean, like it's not happening anymore on TOEFL IBT. They revise it. They just revise it, and then they make it like engaging for us to use it. So yeah, it's not really difficult. Just read in the daily activity. Let's go. This is one of the examples. You will need to use the skimming and scanning strategy. I think, yeah, this is one of the past methods included in the analysis. Also, we can input this, we can implement this on the TOEFL IBT test. So it's the same, it's the same. I'm just copying it from the real test. So whatever business issued on this notice, computer company, etc., and etc. Yeah, we have announcement, an email, and then we have to infer what's going on in here. So it's not really difficult. Okay, let's move on. This is one of the examples, like the same one. For the reading, we have to read, we have to skim. Skimming means that we have to understand. Okay, the first paragraph is talking about what? The second paragraph is talking about what? The third paragraph is talking about what? And then we have to integration. Okay, what is the best answer? So I mean, it's just like a normal reading question. It's not really difficult, just like before. Like in the past, people to buy the bullet for acing the test, but right now it is. So it's yeah, I mean like you do understand about what I'm saying, right? So we just need to read an academic test type. We just need to read about this skimming and scanning method. So it's not really difficult. I truly believe it's not really difficult. Does it take a long time, Mr. Wiki, to finish this? I don't think so. I believe that our students can do it also, right? So we just need to make it smooth. We just need to make it smoothly. So that's why. Okay, let's go. That's it. That's for the reading. So I mean, like the reading doesn't they make it like engaging. However, just for information, they will not just give you one question. Okay, one academic task writing, academic task type, and read a notice one. No, no, they will give like multiple questions, like maybe 8 times, 9 times for a written notice, and then for academic task type, maybe they will give it to you like 6 times. But basically, it is what it is. That's all for the reading section. I mean, like for IELTS, when I took IELTS back in 2025, I mean, like, well, instead of taking IELTS, why shouldn't I take like for the TOEFL IBT? However, they just, overhaul this by, I mean, like they just overhaul this in this year. So, yeah. Okay, let's go for the listening section. So we have 4 parts right now. Listen and choose a response, listen to a conversation, listen to an announcement, listen to an academic talk. So I want for the participants to give the best answer because we will play the audio and then please give the best answer on the chat box. Okay. So we have 4 task types and then, yeah, let's head on. So we have 4 task types. It's going to be like this. You will hear an audio and then you have to choose the best response regarding the audio. So I mean like, okay, this audio, let's talk. I mean, this audio is talking about this one. Okay, this is the best response. That's it. That's the whole idea. Okay. So I believe it. I mean, like, it's not difficult to understand. So listen. So I mean, like, let's play the audio. You can type the answer on the chat box. Okay. This is for number one. This is for number two. This is for number three. Okay. So let's go. I have to replay again. Okay. So be ready. I will play it right.
I don't know, it's the problem is on my side, or it's because you're playing the audio file which is integrated into your PowerPoint slide, but I couldn't hear it.
Okay, hold on. I should do this. This one. I forgot to turn it on. Okay, I will play it again. So is it working right now? Okay, let's start.
Does the building have a parking garage?
Can you hear it? So let's start. So you just need to find the best response to this question. Okay? Just choose A, B, C, D. That's it. So let's play. Let's start right now.
Does the building have a parking garage?
Okay, sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, so let's start again for the audio. So you can, okay, B. Yeah, yes, it's just around the corner. It's not really difficult. Okay, let's move on into the second question.
Didn't you book a trip to Australia? Didn't you book a trip to Australia?
Okay, once more.
Didn't you book a trip to Australia?
Yeah, I'm going to New Zealand instead. Yeah, it's not really difficult, right? Instead of taking the IELTS test, I mean, like, wow, how can they change this? Like, it's too easy for them. For most people, I believe that it's too easy. Okay, so I think you got the idea. You got the idea. So I don't think I have to play the third audio. So I believe the teachers know what should be done, and I believe that our students can do it also, right? So it's not really difficult.
Does the building have a parking garage?
Didn't you book a trip to Australia? Who's
Okay? Listen to a conversation. Now, basically, we have to listen to a conversation like 2 or 3 people, and then we have to infer what do people, I mean, what are they talking about? Maybe they are talking about fitness instruction, maybe they are talking about driver, office worker, or maybe an equipment manufacturer. So what does it mean, Vicky? Basically, we will here to answer both questions at the same time. So we have to answer both questions at the same time, and I believe that's not really difficult for us to do it. Okay, so I should start right now. I believe that you have already prepared. Can I use my notes or maybe my phone? Yeah, that's totally fine because I mean like it's for teacher training, so we're not having like a difficult. I don't want to give you like a difficult situation. Maybe you can use your notes. Maybe you can use your phone for giving like okay, this idea is talking about what. Okay, So let's start right
Have you
now.
decided which gym to join?
I'm torn between the Nano Fitness gym near my house and the downtown Trainers gym near my work.
The second one might suit you. You'll enjoy working up some sweat right after sitting at your desk in front of the computer all day 5 days a week.
True. And downtown Trainers has the better instructors and nicer equipment too, but weekends is actually when I do most of my working out, and it'd be easier to do it near home than drive downtown.
Or maybe should I replay again? Yes, Musla, thank you so much. The best answer is C and D. So we have to infer that the audio is talking about what? If you have already taken TOEFL ITP test before, I believe that you can ace this test because it's too linear, it's too similar, but it's a little bit hard, it's a little bit difficult compared to the TOEFL ITP one. So I mean, like, if you know how to ace the TOEFL ITP test, maybe you don't have to learn more about TOEFL IBT because it's too similar for the test. So basically, we will have to listen to a conversation like two people or three people are working, and then maybe they will give us like two questions or three questions simultaneously. Okay,
Have you decided?
let's go. Move on to the next question. Now we have to listen to an announcement. Basically, yeah, it's like an announcement, and then we have to listen to it, and then we have to answer both questions at the same time. So maybe they will give us like maybe five or four similar questions related to listen to an announcement. So yeah, that's it. Okay, so I believe that I can start the audio right now. You can read the question first. I will give you 10 seconds, and then I will have to play the audio. Time's up. So let's start.
Hello, everyone. We are excited to invite you to the annual science fair next Friday at 3 p.m. in the university gym. There will be exhibits from various departments showcasing innovative projects in the fields of biology, physics, and chemistry. In addition, there will be lectures on scientific topics aimed at a general audience.
Okay, I should repeat once more.
Hello, everyone. We are excited to invite you to the annual science fair next Friday at 3 p.m. in the university gym. There will be exhibits from various departments showcasing innovative projects in the fields of biology, physics, and chemistry. In addition, there will be lectures on scientific topics aimed at a general audience. Don't miss it.
Okay, anyone got the idea? So basically, he's talking about science and then about exhibit and then yeah, C and A. Absolutely, everyone at the science fair and then attend an event. Correct. Yeah, I mean it's very difficult, right? So if you don't want, if you are struggling to take the IELTS, maybe this is the best option instead of taking IELTS. So maybe they will give you like they will give you like three or four similar questions like this one on the real test. So they will know. I mean, like it's just a demonstration, right? It's just a demonstration. So at the test, you have to take like three or four similar questions at the same time. Okay, so let's skip it. This is the most difficult part. So basically, we will have to listen to academic talk. Maybe like lecturers are talking about this one, about this issue, about this research. Since we are not using, like you cannot type down, you cannot just click it online right now because you are watching it. Maybe you can type down on the chat box or maybe on your notes. Okay, this audio is talking about this, about this, about this, about this. And this type of questions will appear probably like three or four times. So we will have to listen to this audio, and this audio is related to these four questions. So one audio can answer 4 to 5 questions at the same time. So it's more difficult than before. That's the biggest difference between listen to a conversation, maybe about listen to announcement, but this one we have to listen it to academic talk, like maybe lecturers or maybe college students. Okay, so let's start right now. I believe It takes like 20 seconds or 25 seconds. Let's go.
The potlatch is a ceremonial event among indigenous peoples of the Pacific Northwest coast of North America. A potlatch involves the host giving away their possessions, including food, blankets, and even money, to guests. This practice serves multiple social functions, like redistributing wealth, reinforcing social bonds, and asserting status. Potlatches are often held to mark significant occasions, like weddings and such, and they involve feasting, dancing, and storytelling. The lavishness of a potlatch can elevate the host's status by demonstrating wealth and generosity. One fascinating aspect of the potlatch is its role in the social and economic structures of the communities that practice it. By redistributing wealth, potlatches ensure that resources circulate within the community, preventing the concentration of wealth in the hands of a few individuals. This practice strengthens community ties and fosters mutual support. For people who don't understand the function of potlatches, they may appear to be a waste of resources. Potlatches were even prohibited by the Canadian government in the late 19th century because of this perceived wastefulness. The ban was lifted in the mid-20th century, and today, potlatches continue to be an important cultural practice. Let's now examine how Indigenous communities have revived this practice.
Okay. VDD, okay? VDDA. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, they are talking about traditional events and then social status. It was extremely wasteful. And then the speaker talk about the Canadian or the indigenous people in Canada want to bring it back. That's great. So yeah, you just need to listen to this and then you have to answer the questions. That's it. So that's it for the listening
The
section.
potlatch is a ceremony.
It's not really difficult, just like before. That's it for the listening. So they just make a lot of difference right now, a lot of difference, and I believe that it's much easier than before. So right now we have to move into the third section. So we have to build a sentence, write an email, and then write for an academic discussion. That's it for the writing. So we don't have to write 250 words like IELTS, 200, 200 words for PT academic. We we have it also for the academic discussion, but it's easier. It doesn't require you to write a lot of words, and then I will talk briefly about that. Okay. So yeah, let's move on into the first task. So yeah, that's it. You just need to build the sentence. That's it. Let's talk about this. What did Andre ask you at the party? So you can type this on the chat box about the best response to this. We have to reconstruct the sentence. That's it. we just need to reconstruct it, and it is similar to the IELTS score. Let's move on into the first question and second question. I believe our teachers can answer this on the chat box. I have to include all of the words. So one of them are impostor, one of them is impostor, basically. So you have to reconstruct the question. What is the best response to this question? So one of them is impostor in here, so you have to remove it, and then you have to reconstruct it. What is the best answer to this response to this question? And then it's similar to the other questions, like why was the meeting rescheduled? And then we have to reconstruct what is the best answer to this question. It's grammar heavy, so I believe our teachers know how to deal with grammar. Okay, so we just need to reconstruct it. That's it. Now, let's move on into the second one about write an email, basically. So we have to yeah, this one. Write for an academic discussion, basically. So we have to write for an academic discussion. So you will be given like 10 minutes to write. And then this is the question. Like a professor has posted a question about a topic and students have responded with their thoughts and ideas. Make a contribution to the discussion. So we have to respond to it, and this is the best answer to this one. This is gonna be the question. It's gonna be like this. your professor is teaching a class on social studies, write a post responding to the professor's question. You have to include these points. These points are crucial. If you don't include one of them, then it will lower your score. Now that's number one. Number two, you have to write at least 100 words instead of PT academic or TOEFL or IELTS test on the in the writing task two. You have to write at least 250 words or 200 words. It's similar to this TOEFL iBT, but you just need to respond. You just need to make a response to it. That's it. Instead of, okay, we have to brainstorm, yeah, we have to brainstorm about the key items in here. We don't do it in here. You just need to give the best response that you can represent about your talk, about the professor's teaching on social studies. That's it. That's it basically. Okay, that's number one. Now, what is this is the best example for this question. Well, Vicky, I mean, like, do we have to write the introduction and then the body one, body two, and then conclusion? We don't have to. About 100 words responding, you make your best response to the question, and then that's it. So it's too easy for me. I mean, like, we don't have to write, okay, the first paragraph is talking about the introduction. The second paragraph is talking about body one. Third paragraph is body two. The fourth paragraph is in conclusion. So it's not really difficult for them. I believe for our students as well to write this. So, and then we are given 10 minutes by the TOEFL, by the ETS, TOEFL IBT, and then we just need to write. So there isn't like the best template, the best format yet, but I believe we will find it sooner because like they just revised their test just 2 or 3 weeks ago. So that is the issue. This is the best answer. We don't have to write the introduction, just make it for the write for an academic discussion. That's it. We just need to write it for this one. And then you can also look into your word count, and then you can copy this one. Okay, I want to copy this, paste in this, you can do it. It's not really difficult. Okay. Okay, right, that's it. So we have to move into speaking section. We have listen and repeat, take an interview. So everybody loves interview. This is really easy for me because it doesn't sound like the IELTS test where you have to have an interview with the examiner. But for the TOEFL IBT, you just need to have an interview with the AI because TOEFL IBT is integrated with AI as well, right? So it's not really difficult. Now this is listen and repeat. Basically, you will listen to an audio. You will listen to an audio, and then you have to repeat it precisely and perfectly. Let's say that maybe I'm the audio, okay? Let's imagine that I'm the audio. I'm saying it like this. There is an apple on the table. Sometimes people cannot repeat precisely all of the vocabularies because, their memory is bad. They don't know about the vocabularies. They're gonna speak like this. Is an apple table? Well, wait, Mr. Luki. But he doesn't mention about there and then the at the end. So does it count also for the test? Absolutely. So it's not a memorizing test, but try your best to repeat the sentence given by the audio. Even though you miss some parts of it, that's totally fine. However, you cannot just mix it up. What do you mean, Mr. Ricky? Basically, it's gonna be like this one. Imagine I'm the audio. There is an apple on the table. Okay, I don't remember about the structure. So let's say about apple there. And then it's gonna work like it. It's not gonna work like that. So you have to make it structured, even though you forgot about the vocabulary at the end, you forgot about the vocabulary in the middle of the sentence. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. If you make it structured, if you make it structured, that's totally fine. Even though you don't have a huge mark on it, but at least you can save you can save it for the test. So that's why I mean, okay. So I believe That's how it should be conducted. And listen and repeat is also conducted on PT academic test. So both tests are using the same way, because the idea coming from the TOEFL iBT, they want you to remember as many as you can. That's the idea. And then what is the best strategy for this one, Mr. Wiki? Well, practice. That's it. You have to practice. You have to memorize it. And back in the day, like in 2024, I was struggling on the PT academic because it's too similar with the PT academic. However, on the PT academic, it's longer than TOEFL IBT. It's longer, and then sometimes it doesn't count for the marks, and it's way difficult than the TOEFL IBT, this one. And then you have 8 to 12 seconds to repeat the audio. Okay, so the tips is that if you don't remember about some parts of vocabularies in a sentence, try to make sure that you make it structured. Try to make sure you make it structured. You cannot just throw it at the beginning. You cannot just throw it at the end. That's not how it works. If you're doing like that, you will not get a single mark. That's it. Okay? So I believe we can start right now. The audio is not long. It's only, they will give you like a sentence, only a sentence. They will not give you like two sentences, three sentences. No, they will just give you single sentence. Sometimes they will put comma in it. Sometimes when we are writing, when we write in English, we have to put a positive, we have to put comma, we have to put basic sentence, we have to put compound sentence. So it's gonna be like that, but only a single sentence. Okay, so let's start right now. If you can turn on your mic if you want. Okay, this is the best answer. This is my answer, Miss Rick. That's fine. Just turn on your mic, repeat the sentence. That's it. Okay, and then for the real test, they will give you only once. They will give you only once to repeat it, and then they will give you like 12 to 12, yeah, 12 or 11 listen and repeat questions. So they will give you a lot of it. Okay, so let's start right now.
Get your name badge at the registration desk. Get your name badge at the registration desk.
Okay. Anyone wants to try?
May I get your, I forgot, get your badge at the registration desk, but there was another word before badge.
Yeah, that's fine. You'll still get the marks. You'll still get the marks. It's huge. It is huge. Well, it's not 100%, but that's totally fine, because they will examine you in three ways. They will examine it through the content, through the fluency, and through the pronunciation. Let's say you have a bad skill memorization. That's totally fine. You just need to repeat like 50% of it, and then you can play on the pronunciation and the fluency. It's way higher than remembering all of the words, but your pronunciation and your fluency are struggling. So that is my best suggestion. If you have a bad memorization skill, just try your best to remember half of it, 50% of it, and then you can play on the fluency and the pronunciation. But if you can do more, that's great. Just like Miss Fatime did before. Okay, so let's start again. If you want to turn on your mic, you can do it. Okay, just speak directly.
Just out of
Our
curiosity, the word that I
Sorry, what?
forgot was name. Out of curiosity, the word that I forgot was name. Leave you get your name back.
Yeah, again.
Okay,
Let's start
thank
again. I forgot about the one also.
Get your name badge at the registration desk.
Get your name badge at the
okay.
registration desk.
Yeah,
Thank you.
okay. Thank you.
Okay, let's start again.
Our event is in the auditorium. Our event is in the auditorium.
Okay, what is the answer? Anyone wants to try? Nobody?
Our event is in the auditorium.
Yes,
Our
can I?
event is in the auditorium. What?
Our advantage
Okay.
is at the auditorium.
That's fine. That's great. It's not too long, right? But it's just for the examples. On the real test, it's gonna be longer. It's like comprehending like 8 to 10 words. So yeah, it is what it is. You can check it online also on the YouTube if you want to practice a lot. You can check online on the YouTube, and then you can type down, listen, and repeat TOEFL IBT, and then you can practice for all time. Okay, so let's start into this last question.
Snacks can be found in the vending area throughout the event. Snacks can be found in the vending area throughout the event.
Snacks can be found in the vending area throughout the event.
Let's see, is it right or not?
Snacks can be found in the vending area throughout the event.
Yeah, that's great. So Miss
Thank you.
Fatime has a great memorization skill. Okay, so yeah, that's for listen and repeat. I believe our teachers know also about this. So what is the best strategy? Because it's similar to PT academic, I always encourage my students to repeat, to listen and repeat like twice a day, thrice a day, so they can learn more about this. And then you can use the YouTube. Just type it online, listen and repeat. TOEFL IBT updated 2026. That's it. And then it got like an hour, 2 hours. You can use it on your teaching method as well.
Welcome to our
So-
event. Get your
Our
name
event
badge.
is-
Snack.
Okay, I'm so sorry for this one, but I want. Okay, this one. About listen and repeat. Nah, just forgot about this. This is the last one. So it's not listen and repeat. Basically, I forgot to change about the name. So basically, this is an interview. That's it. This is an interview. So imagine like this young lady. Is she young? So basically, this young lady, one will be our examiner for our speaking. But it's not real. Basically, it's not real. It's just like an image, a video, put online on the TOEFL IBT test, and then you have like a minute to respond. So the young lady will give you a question. You will have to answer it in 1 minute. Next, this young lady will ask again, ask again. It's like a job interview. If you have done a job interview before, I believe you can ace the test. Okay? Yeah, it's like a job interview, a scholarship interview. So it's not really difficult, basically. You just need to respond to the best answer that you can give to this examiner. Okay, so let's start for the audio. I want to start the audio. If there is a volunteer, you can just turn on your mic and then give your best answer. And then I will start my stopwatch if you want to respond to this question. Okay, so let's start right now.
You have volunteered for a research study about work-life balance. You will have a short online interview with a researcher. The researcher will ask you some questions.
Okay, so yeah, before we begin the test, there is like a guidance, an audio guidance. And then yeah, it's talking about volunteer relief. And then that's it. So there are 4 questions in total, or maybe 5 or 6 questions simultaneously given to you with this young lady. Okay, so let's start right now.
Thank you for participating. Today, I'd like to ask you some questions about your work-life balance. First, can you share 1 or 2 strategies that you use that you think are effective in managing your work-life balance?
Uh, anyone wants to raise their hand about the best answer?
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, I got distracted. I wasn't listening. Would you please play it once again? Thank you.
Okay, let's start.
Thank you
again.
for participating. Today, I'd like to ask you some questions about your work-life balance. First, can you share 1 or 2 strategies that you use that you think are effective in managing your work-life balance?
All right. May I?
Yes, you can start right now.
So honestly speaking, I have to admit that there is no work-life balance in my life. It is mainly working and working long hours as a teacher. I'm either preparing for classes or teaching in classes or assigning homework or revising homework. But once in a while, I try to include some physical activities into my weekly plan, especially on the weekends. So I go mountain climbing with my friends or running.
Wow, uh, that's great. You've done it in just 30 seconds. That's fine. A minute to finish the question, but this is also really fun. If you have already finished with the question, you can skip it into the next question. Okay? So maybe that's all for the interviewer's question. Basically, they will give you an interview. Maybe we can give it a shot one more for other people who want to answer the question. Okay? So let's listen to the second audio.
I see. Many companies are now developing programs to help employees manage work-life balance. Would programs like this affect your interest in working for a particular company? Why or why not?
Let's repeat once more.
I see. Many companies are now developing programs to help employees manage work-life balance. Would programs like this affect your interest in working for a particular company? Why or why not?
Yeah, that's how it should be conducted. Okay, so I'm just demonstrating it. Now, they will give you like 4 questions, and then you have to answer it directly. So that's how it should be conducted. Okay, I believe
You have
that's the end.
volunteered for a
Thank you.
That's the end of our TOEFL iBT overhaul discussion. So, from my perspective, they will not give you like a difficult situation like before. Before they revised their TOEFL IBT, TOEFL IBT wasn't engaging for young people. It was too difficult. It's way difficult than the IELTS test, more difficult than the IELTS test. So that's why many young people like me didn't want to take the TOEFL IBT test. But right now they just revised it and then they want to take it instead of taking IELTS. They just gave a huge discount taking it only in 3 days. Your TOEFL IBT result will come out, and then right after finishing your reading and listening section, they will give you ultimately the band score. Now, here's the new thing: the TOEFL IBT also changed its band score. So I want to share to you about the band score given by the TOEFL IBT before we move on into the question types. So it's gonna be like this. Okay, should close that. This is gonna be like this one. So let's say this Morris Casse, and then they are using band score right now. Surprisingly, they're using band score instead of 120, 90, 80. They're using it as well, but they made a recent change to use band score to align with the IELTS test. 6 is ultimately uh in the same line, the same on the same page, just like IELTS band 9, and then 5.5 is band 8, and then 5 is band 7, 4.5 is 6.0, and then etc. 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 And then they just made these recent updates. The reason is that many people are struggling about understanding. Okay, my TOEFL IBT is 90, my TOEFL IBT is 110, but not many. There are many people taking this test, so that's why they made this recent change. So the top score is 6.0, and then the lowest score is 1.0. And then more information, you can take the full IBT at home. You don't need to go directly to the test center. You can take all the full IBT home edition. Just take it at home, and then you can receive your listening and reading right after finishing your TOEFL IBT test. So you don't have to wait for a long time. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't know about my IELTS test, What's it gonna be look like? We are not using that on the TOEFL IBT test. So it's more convenient. You can use it for 2 years, and then it is widely accepted, recognized it all over the world after the IELTS test. So yeah, that's how it should be conducted. And then this is the newest one.
Thank you.
Okay, I believe that's the end of my presentation. And yeah, to the moderator.
Thank you, dear Duiki, our dear presenter from Indonesia. That was a very enlightening session. I personally enjoyed it because I didn't know that TOEFL has changed, and I really love the computer-based version, especially because they have integrated AI. And I was just thinking that that's a great change, because standardized tests have a positive washback effect on our teaching methods. And in my classes, I struggle with like young learners, young people, asking them to write things down. And now I see that, the tests have started changing themselves, the way they test and assess students, so that if they are more comfortable with typing, they can type and take the test. But I've got a question. I wanted to know which one you recommend between TOEFL, IELTS, and Duolingo. Which audience do you think this test is more suitable for?
Okay, thank you so much. I believe TOEFL iBT is number one right now. It is inevitable that, for the IELTS test, it's too difficult. Basically, IELTS is too difficult. I mean, like for newcomers, they are struggling with it, and then they want to pursue their dream. They want to study maybe in Australia, in New Zealand, maybe in the United States, but they're struggling with IELTS, and it takes a year maybe for them to level up their English, right? However, for TOEFL iBT, you can say it right directly. It doesn't ask you to use a different format like the IELTS test. You just need to write the best answer that you can give. That's it. And it takes only an hour. My IELTS test, I had to conduct it like maybe more than 2 hours. More than 2 hours. I have to wait 15 days, and then I have to wait 15 days, and then I have to wait for my paper based coming out for months, basically for the paper based. However, for the TOEFL iBT, just like before, we after finish with our TOEFL iBT test, we can see directly our listening score, our reading score, which wasn't a thing. I mean, like for the IELTS, for the PT academic, it wasn't a thing. But for TOEFL iBT, we can use it, and then for the next 3 days, we can receive our official certificate for the TOEFL iBT test. So I mean, like you should take the TOEFL iBT.
So for those people who are compressed for time to see the result, TOEFL is better because it takes only 1 hour to take the test, and then they can see the results within 3 days. I also realized that the variety of tasks is more in Duolingo compared to TOEFL, and I guess Duolingo takes longer. I don't remember exactly how long it was, but I think it takes longer. So if you want to compare Duolingo and TOEFL, do you think Duolingo is more difficult?
From a perspective, yes, Duolingo is more difficult than TOEFL iBT, because for Duolingo, basically you have to answer the question, and then you have to listen. You have to listen to audio, and then you have to type your response. You have to listen to audio again. You have to type the response. But for TOEFL iBT, we are doing it as well. However, we are also given like the response coming from this first speaker, second speaker on the text, so we can use it properly instead of listen, write, and we have to write maybe like 2 minutes or 3 minutes. I forgot about it. But for the TOEFL iBT, it takes time. You have a longer time, and then you can take it at home as well. And then Duolingo is still limited. The thing is that Duolingo is still limited. Only I don't know, maybe like Fulbright accepts it, and then I don't know about Chevening or Australian awards. But TOEFL iBT is what they recognize it. Like many countries, a lot of countries in the world are accepting it. So take TOEFL iBT instead of Duolingo from my perspective, if you want to have a wide range of opportunities.
Yeah, I just had a quick search, and I think more than 12,000 500 universities accept TOEFL IBT test. Yeah, it is
Absolutely.
accepted by, it's a huge number, 12,500 universities. How much does it
Yes.
cost?
Um, I don't know about the discount, but maybe the discount is still in here. So they just gave like 50 cents for the discount for the TOEFL IBT test. And what about the price, the normal price? It's similar to the IELTS test. So according to the country, I'm not sure about your currency, but it's similar to the IELTS test. It's similar.
Thank you so much. Since Vanessa has raised her hand or his hand, yes, dear, you can ask your question.
Hi, good morning. I have a question. The part of the preparation of the new format, do you recommend any book or many internal resources for this?
Do you mean about the resource?
Resource.
Oh, the resource. I want to give you as a present for today. So I will give you 8-week lesson plans that you can use. And this is the book, TOEFL IBT Test Preparation Planner. So an 8-week plan to prepare for the TOEFL IBT test. So I got it from the ETS. Basically, I attended the teacher workshop and then they just gave me for free. So it takes like 8 weeks. What should you do for the next 8 week? And then what is your target for today? Let's say this one. Okay, my target maybe Mr. Wiki is 6.0 or Ben 9.0. I mean, like, if you wanna, you can just type in here. Okay, I want to target for 6.0. I want to target for 5.5. And then you can use it for the next like 8 weeks for free. And then what should you do? And then what should you do? And then that's number one. Number two, I will also give you my presentation. And then the last one about the TOEFL IBT overview. It's gonna be like this one, yeah. This one. So this is also the overview about the best strategy on this one. It's gonna be like this one. This is the book also that I got from the ETS itself about updated to full IBT and then the strategy and then the strategy basically. And then yeah, this is a thing. Okay, what should be done? Okay, what is the best strategy? You can read it in here, understand information, blah 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 blah, and so on and so on. There are so many things that you can use. So it's totally free. I'm gonna give it to you for free. And this is for the band 6, band 5.5, 5, and then etc. This is the scoring guides as well for the writing. If you want to score 5 for your email, what should be done? For your academic discussion, etc., 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 at the end of the discussion. And then you can also take a look for the resources. And then hold on, before we close, I will give also to you free TOEFL IBT simulation coming from the ETS itself. On.
I don't know, my connection is slow or dear Duiki's connection got slow. Can you hear him? Okay, so I guess he wanted to share with us a free simulation test, but probably he has gotten disconnected. So thank you so much, everyone. If you have more questions, feel free to ask them in our group, the main group. I will ask if you are not in the main group, the core group, please ask your ambassadors. They will send you the link to join the global TESOL team of TalentHut. Don't forget to fill in the form, the assessment form, to if you like to receive your certificates. And I would like to ask you to turn on your webcams and let's take a screenshot. Okay, good to have you. Good to have you back. Your mic is muted. We cannot hear you.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Yeah, maybe before we close our discussion, I just want to share about one thing about the simulation that you can take for free. This is the simulation. Maybe you can see it clearly. I will send to the group. This is a simulation that you can take. Full length practice test 1. It is totally free. You can take it and then you will get the simulation score as well, right after finishing with your test. Okay, so it's totally free. And if you want to have, for the AI coach, you can purchase it online from the TOEFL iBT, but these 3 things are totally free. And maybe if you want to create your own business using TOEFL iBT, you can sell it. Right, okay. I have the resources. You can sell it to your country, and it is totally free. I'm not charging any money, and you can be a teacherpreneur if you understand about the vocabulary. Okay, I think that's all for my presentation. I will send it right after on the group. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So if you're willing, please turn on your webcam so that we take a screenshot.
Absolutely.
I understand. All right. So it's just Cynthia. Am I pronouncing your name correctly? Cynthia?
Cynthia is my name.
Sorry?
No worries. Cynthia.
Cynthia. Okay. So dear Dwiki, dear Cynthia, and me. So let's have a screenshot. 1, 2, 3.